Welcome to NTV's Grow, a special edition at the State FFA Convention on location at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. In this episode, we will have much more on all the goings on here. Plus, we will continue our interview about beef sustainability. And in our Egg Innovations Report, talk about sugar and how that could be the secret ingredient to better production on the farm. But we start with State FFA, where many of the young people we talk to say the farming way of life is under attack. Whether it's pressure to meet outside standards for humane treatment of animals or suspicion of genetically modified crops, these kids say farmers need to speak out and share a side of the story that's not always heard.
They see the negative aspects of agriculture, and it's our job to teach them what's really the truth about agriculture.
And for them to be better informed can make our agricultural industry stronger. So when we have troubles like GMOs and hormones and things, they have a better understanding so we can be perceived differently.
A select group of students took part in the Egg Issues Academy at State FFA. Kids go through media training and also met with state senators and learned to speak out on behalf of farmers and ranchers. Lots of blue jackets joining us on campus here in Lincoln as Nebraska FFA celebrates record success. There are more chapters and more members than ever before, but a hot topic at the state convention is the demand for egg teachers. Those who considered careers in the classroom are instead being courted by agribusinesses that offer better pay.
Agriculture is very, very good in Nebraska right now. And so industry is in high competition for very qualified individuals. And sometimes they'll take some of our better teaching candidates into industry. The thing about it is teaching agriculture and being an FFA advisor is unlike any other career or profession. You get to see students grow over the course of 4 years, not only in the classroom, but also through leadership in FFA. Those teachers are mentors to those students and make a difference every day.
Another 5 schools are adding FFA programs next year. Nebraska Farm Bureau has stepped up and announced a new program to help recruit those egg teachers. NTV is a proud supporter of our agricultural youth, and that has earned recognition here at State FFA. Whether it's reporting on a new FFA chapter or our coverage of Husker Harvest Days and the State Fair, Nebraska FFA says no one covers farm youth like NTV. The station received 3 awards at State FFA. Both Marilyn and myself were recognized for our contributions, while the entire station was honored with the Distinguished Service Award for highlighting the role of young people on the farm. The egg economy remains strong despite an expected drop in farm income. Egg Secretary Tom Vilsack says farm income will be down as hog numbers drop and corn prices remain low. But he says farm income is still above the 10-year average, and beef, poultry, and pork prices should boost farm income. Still, finding a vaccine to the current hog virus will be critical to protecting that industry. 2 months after the president signed the new farm bill into law, now it is being put into practice. Egg Secretary Tom Vilsack says every USDA agency is working hard to implement new provisions quickly and effectively. The Farm Bill includes 12 different sections and more than 250 provisions dealing with food, farm, trade, research, and more. Since the bill passed, USDA established a Farm Bill team to implement all the new programs. Meanwhile, wildlife and environmental groups claim victory with new conservation provisions in that Farm Bill. Farmers must show conservation compliance on erodible lands and wetlands to qualify for crop insurance subsidies. Another measure creates so-called sod saver protections to discourage farmers from plowing up native grasslands. However, environmental groups didn't get everything they wanted in the Farm Bill. There is a $4 billion cut in conservation programs, and fewer acres can be enrolled in the popular Conservation Reserve Program. Farmers grow grain, brewers turn grain into beer, and then use the byproduct to feed cattle. That's the way things have been for a long time, but the feds may put an end to it. The Lincoln Journal-Star reports the Food and Drug Administration wants to require brewers to meet food safety rules and not simply give spent grains to farmers. They want brewers to meet the same standards pet food makers must meet. Brewers and farmers say that'll increase costs. The USDA announces sign-up is underway for disaster assistance programs. The retroactive help is part of the new Farm Bill. Sign-up begins Tuesday, April 15th. It includes the Livestock Indemnity Program and Forage Disaster Program to help producers who had livestock deaths and grazing losses since the old disaster programs expired in 2011. Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack said this has been a top priority for USDA. Producers should contact local FSA offices for more. Well, we've had some moisture out there, but it's providing little relief according to the latest USDA reports. Here's a look at what they found. Southwestern counties continued to experience severe or extreme droughts. Cool season grasses had yet to show much growth due to below normal temperatures and limited soil moisture. Field work consisted of spring tillage and fertilizer applications, and the percentage of cows calved since January 1st was 68%. And in Kansas, the wheat continues to decline from a lack of rain. The National Ag Statistics Service reported 27% of Kansas winter wheat is now poor to very poor. And in southwest Kansas, continuing to suffer through drought, made worse by high winds. Some farmers are planting cover crops and others are preparing fields, but most farmers are still waiting for soil temps to warm up and hoping for rain. City kids learn about life on the farm through a State Department of Ag poster contest. Governor Dave Heineman visited 2 central Nebraska schools honoring award winners in that poster contest. 2 came from the same 5th grade class in Grand Island. The governor says he makes a point to honor those award winners in person.
It's about education, and they're learning something every single day, and that's what makes me so proud is when you can combine the state's #1 industry with education. That's very significant and very important.
In his 10 years as governor, he's been to Diane Meyer's class more times than he can remember. It's no exaggeration to say her kids win nearly every year. The governor says it's a sign of her passion to teach kids about agriculture. Kids learn even more about agriculture at the Prairie Loft Center near Hastings. NTV's Megan Johnson has more.
Where do our food and fiber come from? It's a question that kids who aren't growing up around ag can't answer, but the Prairie Loft Center for Outdoor and Agricultural Learning is working on changing that, and they're using a hands-on approach to do it.
They'll become mamas next year.
Feeling a lamb's wool might not seem like a lot to some, but Prairie Loft's director says it's exactly the kind of experience they want to deliver at Springfest.
That up-close encounter with farm animals is so rare for so many people, adults and kids.
He's going to shear off the belly first.
Cordell Jeffcoat brought his sheep from the Valentine area to Hastings for shearing demonstrations.
Showing mostly how the shearing works, that it's not harmful to the animal. It's as humane as we can get it.
Jeffcoat says with many anti-ag messages out there, helping kids connect the animal they're seeing to the clothes they're wearing is crucial to his livelihood.
I'm the future of ag industry, and they're the future consumers, so it's more that they know, the easier it is for me in the long run.
Can you drop that in that hole, point it in down?
Amy Sandine says Prairie Loft's mission involves place-based education.
All right, now grab a hold of the handle here.
Because they believe hands-on experience is an effective teacher.
It's experiential education. So when we experience something, we remember it, we're familiar with it, we want to find out more. That's what we hope to do.
10 years down the road, they're going to remember that. It may be a brief thought, but at least they're still remembering it.
Cup your hands.
Ann Sandine says ag education is driven home more when families share in the learning.
Grandparents, I'm hearing talking about their time on the farm as kids with their grandkids today who are maybe seeing farm animals for the first time.
Your Grow interview is up next. Still to come, your Grow forecast with Kent Bowden.